What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full Curse Body ability Pokemon team. I'll be using 6 Pokemon with Curse Body and hoping that it activates. What does Curse Body do? So pretty much if a Pokemon is hit by an attacking move, there is a 30% chance that the move will get disabled. So you got to try and disable the opponent's moves. If you do want to check me out on Twitch, people, this right through all my live streams for my theme teams, Pokemon, so shiny hunting, and all forms of salty entertainment. Let's get into both these battles today. We got 2 of them, and my first opponent is going to be against... Is that Kicken or... I'm not really sure how to say that name, but I think it's Kicken, like, you know, you give something a swift kick. So the first Pokemon we got is going to be a Centiskorch, and I've got my Gengar, and this is probably my most favorite set on this team, but it's absolutely garbage. I guess that was like the fun of using it. So we got a Choice Scarf Gengar with Trick, Rest, Mean Look, and Taunt. What I want to do, right, is I want to make use of Curse Body, and I want to try and make the opponent struggle. So first here, I'm going to give a Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf is going to lock them into using a move. It's got Muscle Band, and I've got Max Health Gengar, so I take that like an absolute champion. Anyway, I can't really do a lot here. I've got to go for Rest, and I'm sort of hoping that Centiskorch will activate the Curse Body. It's only a 30% chance, so it's not the highest in the world. And, you know, after that, I'm going to try and wake up and use Mean Look and trap them in. So here comes a second crunch from the Centiskorch, and we got the Super Effectiveness, and Curse Body kicked in. You wouldn't read about it, right? So I got that, so they're forced to swap out. I wish I could have got Curse Body the first turn and then gone for the Mean Look, but that's how it was, right? So in comes Chandelure. Gengar is going to be fast asleep. There's really nothing else it can do in this matchup. So, you know, Chandelure is going to be able to feint it using Hex. The funny thing is, Hex is going to be double base power because I'm asleep. So, bye-bye Gengar, but a pretty interesting set. It sort of worked when the last Pokemon was there and I could get that going, and then they'd struggle and stuff like that. So a pretty fun set, but very difficult to pull off to get that trick and then the Mean Look and be able to survive all that stuff. Next Pokemon is going to be Dragapult. We got a Thunder Wave, Confuse Ray, Beat Up, and Curse set. This is pretty cool. We've got Max Health and Max Speed. So I'm really trying to capitalize on the King's Rock as the item here, and of course Curse Body too. Now it's also got Curse in there. I thought that'd be pretty cool. So say you had an opportunity to set the Curse up, right, and you knew that you could take it. And your Dragapult's got a bit of bulk to it, especially when you're running Max Health EVs, right? So you can get the Curse going, and then you could fire off a Beat Up. Now Beat Up won't do lots of damage if it's, you know, not super effective, but you'll get the 6 Beat Ups and a Flinch, right, or 5 Beat Ups in this case, and then you'll get the Curse on top of that, and that'll do a lot of damage, and then you can like rinse and repeat, and the opponent is pretty much going to fight. So I got rid of the Chandelure there, which is very, very good. Now the next Pokemon to come out here, that was 4 hits, by the way, which is nice. Next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Charizard, called Leon. So I was like, is this going to be G-Max Charizard? So I thought, well, none of my moves are really going to do too much here. I either go for Curse or I go for Thunder Wave, because I've got a little bit of feeling it's going to be a G-Max Charizard. It's also shiny, by the way. So here we go, people. G-Max Charizard. I went for Thunder Wave because I thought that it would be better than just going for Curse. And if I could maybe, you know, maybe shut 1 or 2 of its turns down, or even 1 turn in G-Max would be really, really good on the Charizard. So I was wondering what Charizard would actually be able to do to me. I know that it can have Dragon-type moves, but I'm running Max Health, so I'm going to be reasonably bulky. So getting the Thunder Wave up there, Charizard does not get paralyzed, sadly, and it one-shots me. I was like, man, what move was that? And I got critical with it. So I'm not really sure what move it was. It'd either be Dragon Pulse if it's a special set, or like Dragon Rush or Claw if it was a physical set. But I don't know. I believed I probably would have lived that. But I don't know. Like, maybe, you know, it's still a one-hit KO. Someone could do like a damage couple, I feel like it. So we got a Corsola here. It's a bulky, especially offensive set here with Everlight. So here comes G-Max Wildfire. That really does nothing to Corsola. So I eat that one like a snake. So I've got Shadow Ball, Meteor Beam, Strength Sap, and Attract. And of course, he built his Curse Body. That's what this video is all about. Now, the EV spread is Max Health, and I've got Max Special Attack with Modest Nature. So, really trying to get those, you know, the special attack boosts here. But at the stage, I was like, well, it's hit me a couple of times already. I'm not getting any infatuation here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go for Strength Zap and try and get most of my health back, and then try and get my strategy going. So I've got the Thunder Wave on it already, and I've dropped the attack on the Charizard. So if it is a physical set, it's not going to be doing like hardly any damage. But I don't know, I just got a feeling that's not a physical set. So that's the end of Charizard's G-Max. Unfortunately, I did lose my Dragapult there, but I was able to stall out with Corsola. So I guess it wasn't all that bad. So we got the Infatuation and we got the Paralyzed, but it got through both of them, unfortunately, and it's going to be a special set, and it critted me. I was like, wow, that was lucky. So Curse Body kicks in, which is great, and now what I can do is I can go for Meteor Beam. Now, Meteor Beam, I don't have Power Herb on this, as I explained. I've got Everlight, so I'm going to need to wait another turn for my move to actually hit, but I was sort of hoping that Charizard would, get paralyzed or infatuated, then I could fire off my laser and take out the Charizard. That was the idea anyway, and finally I got a little bit of RNG on my side, and Meteor Beam is going to fire, and Charizard is definitely not going to be leaving that one, so bye-bye Charizard, which is very, very good. So that gives me a pretty powerful move. The only thing about Corsola, it's only got a little bit of health there, but it managed to live another attack, which is good. So I think I've almost stalled out all the G-Max Wildfires soon. So in comes Torkoal here. Now, I can go for Strength Sap here. I was like, nah, I'm just going to go for Shadow Ball. Let's go for that at +1. Should do some pretty good damage. And indeed, Torkoal's special defense is nowhere near as good as the defense. So it's going to have a Citrus Berry there. It's going to get a little bit over half its health. That's fine. Corsola did like an amazing job. And it's going to go for a Clear Smog too. So if I did get any other stat boost there, it would have been clear. But that was a little bit of disrespect too. And then I got another Curse Body, a Clear Smog, which is really cool. So I've got a lot of Curse Body activation so far. I guess that's the thing with this video, right? I wanted to get as many Curse Body activations as possible and give you people some entertaining content. So speaking of which, we got a Tea-Time Poltergeist. I like Tea-Time, it's a cool move. I've got a Tea-Time Staffberry, which is really nice. So what Staffberry does when consumed, it randomly raises a stat that isn't maxed by 2 stages. And I got an attack raise, which is really, really cool. It's like, great, I can use Self-Destruct. And then the talking is Willow Mist. It's like, oh, come on. This is bad luck. I do have a special attacking move on there too, but I really want to go boom. So we've got Tea-Time Poltergeist, Shadow Ball, and Self-Destruct, and Staffberry as the item. I've got the EV Spread as max speed and max attack. Its special attack was really, really high anyway, so I knew that I'd be able to take Torkoal out regardless, but it was pretty fun making it like a mix set too. That actually opened my options up with the Staffberry as well. So if I got an attack rise, I could use an attacking move. If I got a special attack rise, well, I go for a special attacking move, All right, in comes the Choice Scarf Center Scorch, which I steal out speed, which is very good. Shadow Ball does some pretty nice damage here, and now it's going to go for Crunch, obviously, So Crunch will take me out in one shot. I was hoping for a Curse Body here, but it never happened. So bye-bye Poltergeist. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left. We're going to go to Marowak. Now, this is a pretty cool set. I thought, with this set, I definitely could get Curse Body to activate because it's very bulky. I've got Fire Spin, Parasol Protect, and Iron Defense. Now, this EV Spread is max health and max special defense, and I think I've got Sassy Nature on this, or it's just one of those sort of natures that boost special defense. And we got a Crunch doing around a little bit under half health. So I threw up the Iron Defense. I was like, this could be really good, because if I can stall this thing out a couple of turns, I believe that I can roll a Curse Body, and then it'll have to struggle unless they want to swap out again. So here comes the second Crunch here. The item I've got in is Citrus Berry too. You can see how little that did, and then I got a defense drop. I was like, man, that really, really sucks. I was sort of hoping that, it wouldn't get any defense drop. So we got the Citrus Berry kick in a little bit, back to half health again. Marowak this turn's going to go for Fire Spin. So I didn't really anticipate getting my defense drop by one stage. So now the Crunch, so it's trapped in now, so it can't swap out. The Crunch is going to do a little bit more. So here it comes. There's the Crunch, and I don't take it. Obviously, it doesn't take me out, and they got another defense drop. I was like, what? So anyway, I went for Iron Defense here to try and patch the loss I got before, but essentially, I just patched the losses that it did to me with 2 Crunches. So unfortunately, I got a little bit unlucky. I felt like I probably would have taken this Center Scorch out, maybe with a struggle. So I'm going to have to go for Protect here. Sometimes it's good to use Protection, and Crunch is going to fail on that, which is fine, and obviously some more Fire Spin damage here. So one more round of that. I thought about going for a double protect. It's like, nah, I'm just going to go for Fire Spin again, right? And Crunch was enough to take me out. And I think that I get a Curse Body there, and I didn't get one after all those Crunches. So a little bit unlucky there. I felt like just with one Curse Body, I would have been fine. So next Pokemon is going to be Jellicent. Now, this is a physical set. We got Poltergeist, Waterfall, Giga Impact, and Rain Dance. We got a max health and max attack EVs. We got Adamant Nature. I've got the Damp Rock as the item to extend Rain Dance. Or if I go for Dynamax right now, I can extend out that rain for 8 turns instead of 5, which is going to be very, very handy. Now, we already had a Dynamax Pokemon, and if you notice, their team is all Fire type so far. I'm not sure if it was meant to be like a Fire type team or there's any other theme to it. If someone else can guess that, I mean, go for it in the comment section. But yeah, it's going to outspeed me and go for a crunch. And they get another defensive drop. This Center Scorch is like, all of its crunches are nearly like dropping my defense. So firing off that max laser there, max geyser, not max laser. It may as well be a big water laser anyway. And yeah, that's going to take Center Scorch out. The thing I like about Jellicent, it looks like the Pringles, you know, the Pringles logo, you know, the little savory things there. It really does look like them. So the next Pokemon's going to be called, it's Oven, not Oven. I'm not sure. Maybe they nicknamed that wrong. So it's going to go for a Thunderbolt there. Since I'm in Dynamax, I'm going to eat that really well. And now I can go for a Max Geyser. And that's going to be doing a lot of damage in the rain. And that is going to be the end of the oven. It's basically like you open your oven in real life and just like you attach a hose and then you just squirt the hose in there. And I'm not sure. Don't do that in real life though, but that's pretty much what happened. So the next Pokemon's going to be Colossal here. I went for Max Geyser out. Spread. I'm like, well, this is not going to live. It must have like a sash or something like that, or endure a steam engine, but it didn't have any of those strategies, obviously, and that is going to be the end of Colossal. So I got my Jellicent pretty much cleaning up the last half of the team there almost. But thank you for the battle kicking. A pretty cool fire-type team there. Let's get on to battle number 2, and this was a fairly long battle. Exactly like something else. So we got a battle on top of the skyscraper this time, and we got a Carbink lead. Now, this was pretty interesting. So I've got my Gengar as the leader. Like, well, Carbink could be setting stuff up, so I might be able to get the old Gengar scumbag straight to work. So I went for the Trick and Choice Scarf, and I got a Hard Stone, which is, you know, it's always good to have a Hard Stone. And Carbink's going to go for a Carmine. I'm like, yes, this is perfect. So it's going to go for a setup move. So I was like, okay, they're either going to swap here or they're just going to, well, they're going to probably swap. So I went for Mean Look. I'm like, wow, they didn't swap. So I've Mean Looked them in. So they can't swap now. And then they went for another Carmine. So essentially, I've got them trapped in here using Carmine. So it's like, okay, all I got to do now is go for Taunt, right? And then they're going to struggle, which is interesting. So I can go for Taunt, but they went for Dynamax. You wouldn't read about it. It's a disaster, people. So Carbink now, it's got a choice guard, but obviously when you go into Dynamax, you can select all your other moves, so the choice items don't matter. So it can go for a pretty powerful move here. I don't know what other moves it's got, but I have to assume that it's got like, well, it's not going to go for a fairy type move. It's probably going to go for something like a rock type move. I don't know. Like, there's lots of ones you could actually use. Probably ancient power or something. So I went for the taunt there, but it's not going to matter because obviously it's going to go for a taunt. I didn't go for an attacking move here, so taunt's going to be useless. So here comes Stonejourner's cousin there. Does a solid amount of damage to my Gengar, and that's a 2-hit KO. So I'm thinking to myself here, this is really bad. I'm desperate to make this Gengar set work. Also, the Sandstorm was up too, which is going to be kind of annoying. So I decided to go for Rescue. I was like, well, let's stall out a turn of Carbink's Dynamax. Essentially, I could stall out nearly all of it. Maybe. So Gengar's going to be going to sleep. I would have gone for a Dynamax myself, but it's not like I can use Rest in Dynamax, you know. So here comes another Max Rockfall on the Gengar. Now, I'm only living at this world because I'm running Max Health, and I'd say that Carbink probably has invested in bulk, right? So I decided to go for a really risky play here. I was like, let's go for Dynamax Gengar asleep. I want to see if I can live this, right? And then Carbink will be forced to go for Carmines again. And then I might be able to get another rest off here. We'll see. We'll see how much damage it does. Like, it was a risky play. So Dynamax Gengar, it's sleeping by Dynamax, only on PIMPNITE channel. And I'm going to go for a big sleep here. So that's the end of Carbink's Dynamax. So this was its final Max Rockfall. And you know what? Gengar actually managed to take it, but it was on turn health. So the Sandstorm is going to take my Gengar out. Oh, man, I'm going to get roasted so hard for this. But I tried, people. What I wanted to do was just live enough to get the Carbink out of Dynamax, and then it'd be trapped in and then struggle, get a struggle KO. But it didn't happen. So we're going to go to Marowak here. Also, another curious thing, too. Say if I did get it down to struggle obviously won't be affected by Cursed Body because, struggle's like the end of the line, the moves you use. So going to Marowak here, and of course Carbink's going to slip out there now that it can escape. So Mandy Buzz is the next Pokemon there. It's shiny too. It's looking like it's been out in the sun for a little bit. And we're going to go for Fire Spin. Now this is where, this was a freaking annoying set. So I've trapped it in anyway, which isn't too bad. I think it's got, it's got Overcoat too. I didn't see any Sandstorm damage. So it's going to go for Attract. I'm like, oh goody, this is going to be fun. So it's got the Attract up on my Marowak. So I thought, well, it's all right. I'll give this a go. And I got Immobilized Beloved. So the Sandstorm's gone, which is fine. And now the Mandy Buzz, right, is going to get affected by the Fire Spin. So I'm still doing Fire Spin damage, so it's not all that bad. Now Mandy Buzz is going to go for a Flatter. Marowak's going to go for a little dance there. Looks pretty cool. And I wish I had those dance moves. And now I'm going to be confused and I'm going to be attracted at the same time. So it's not exactly what you call fun times, and then I hit myself for confusion. Of course I do, you know? I tried to get this scum going, like sometimes it never works for me, but then it gets used against me. I guess that's how Pokemon goes. Now it's going to go for, is that Boomerang? Oh, no, yeah, it's going to hit me with a bunch of bones, right? Now, this is really interesting. I get to show you something really cool in this battle. But so, yeah, just keep watching. And so we got the Marowak. It's going to get rid of confusion, which is good. And I got No, I didn't get Infatuate. You wouldn't read about it. So I thought, well, if it's going to go for Flatter, that's going to increase my special attack, right? And what's a special attack? You move Fire Spin, so they may as well go for that, right? Yeah, so it's going to go for Bone Rush here. This Bone Rush is a multi-hitting attacking move too. And I get to show you something pretty cool about multi-hitting attacking moves if you already don't know this. But you get to see it pretty soon. So I've got my Citrus Berry kicking in here. So that's, that's the end of my, healing here. And I was wondering, I might be able to get rid of this Mandy Buzz, but I hope that doesn't get freed by the Fire Spin, because that means I'm going to have to get another Fire Spin up. So I hit myself for confusion. Of course I do here. But I was determined. This was a battle of the bones, people, my Marowak's pride was on the line here. So here comes the next Bone Rush, or the next Bone Barrage here. I feel like that's such a tiny bone. Imagine getting hit by Marowak's bone, and it's on fire too. So that was like 3 bones there, or 2 bones? No, 3 bones, yeah. I got hit by 3. I snap out of confusion, right, which is just really, really good. And then I got immobilized below. I'm like, man. And then I got freed by the Fire Spin, so it was an absolute disaster here. So Marowak's going to go for another little dance there, and my special attack is going to get Rose again. I was like, man, Fire Spin's going to drop hard right now, you know what I'm saying? So I went for Fire Spin. And the Marowak's going to get confused, and it hits self in confusion again. I just couldn't catch a break. I was getting really salty right now. I was like, man, this is going to be like the 20-minute timer. It's already calling us. So I'm going to swap out here and go into Corsola. Now a Mandy Buzz is going to go for a Bone Rush. Like, watch this. This is really interesting. So Curse Body kicks in on the first one, but for some reason, I want to hear your opinion on this, right? Obviously, the multi-hitting move still keeps going. Like, it doesn't stop there. So I got hit by a bone, then another bone, then another bone, It should have stopped after the first one. Like, don't you agree? Like, say multi-hitting moves, right? The first one, bam. As soon as Curse Body kicks in, I think the multi-hitting move should stop. What do you think about that? Like, that makes sense to me. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're going to go for a Meteor Beam here. I was like, well, if this thing wants to play with Flatter, I might be able to boost up my special attack. So it's going to go for a Brave Bird there. It does about 3 damage and some more. It actually nearly did as much damage to itself as it did to me. So go for Meteor Beam here. And now I've got like a lot in special attack. That's like 3 plus 3 in special attack. So that's going to be the end of Mandy the Mandy Buzz. You're a general pain in the backside then. Next Pokemon to come in is going to be Shedinja. I was like, okay, well, I've got Meteor Beam, but I wonder what move this is going to have. Like, what sort of ghost move? And it's going to use Confuse, right? Like, I'm sick of being confused. So my Corsola's going to have some more chickens flying around here. I'm hoping and praying that I can get this Meteor, I nearly said Meteor Mash. Meteor Beam. Let me call if I got Meteor Mash. So pop in a Shadow Ball here. I didn't want to take any chances there, especially with Shedinja. It's a troll Pokemon, and it's got the Focus Sash. I'm like, okay, well, fair enough. I just got to hit it again, right? Now, I did think about going Dynamax here. I could have gone Dynamax with Corsola and gone for a Max Rockfall, and then it would have died to Sandstorm. But since I used up my Gengar at the start, we're not going to talk about that. I couldn't do anything. So now I'm going to go for a Meteor Beam because the Shedinja actually disappeared into time and space, right? So it's going to go for a Fan of Force, slap me on the ass, and it doesn't take me out. I've got 31 health left there, which is great. So I could go for a Meteor Beam, hopefully, and get rid of this thing. And then I hit myself in confusion. Oh, man. So now she's just going to go for a Shadow Sink and take out my Corsola. You wouldn't read about that. That was pretty bad luck. You got to admit, that was pretty bad luck right there. So bye-bye, Corsola. Man, next Pokemon is going to be Dragapult. Watch this. This is really funny. So now I can outspeed the Shedinja. 1 beat up, bop, and that's going to take me out in 1 shot. So that felt pretty good there. So bye-bye, Shedinja. Thank goodness. So Mandy Buzz and Shedinja have all been troll sets so far. Next Pokemon to come in is going to be Squishy, and this is probably going to be a troll set as well. So I went for Curse. I was like, well, I don't think I can do much damage to this thing because, it's Pyukumuku. Let's get a Curse up on it. So they're going to go and get hit by the Curse. I went for Counter. That's not going to do anything. So maybe this has nothing to hit me with. It's like, okay. Or maybe they just wanted to see what moves my Dragapult had because my whole team was Ghost-type Pokemon. So I was thinking, really all they can do is go for, Toxic. That's about it. They really can't do much outside of that. So I went for the Thunder Wave. Now they're going to go for Soak and obviously turn me into a Water type. So, okay. Fair enough. So if I do go for Beat Up here, the thing about Counter and Beat Up it's only going to do the damage from the very first hit. It's not going to do, counter won't do the collective damage of all the beat-ups, if you know, or the multi-hitting moves, if you understand what I mean there, which sort of sucks, but, you know, it's based off one. So I'm not really worried about Pyukumuku at all. Now they're going to swap it out and go into Onix, which is, you know, pretty unexpected, and it's shiny. So I'm going to go for beat up here on the Onix. Now, Onix has got very good defense, so I know that my moves are not going to do too much to it at all. But, you know, I never know. You might get, I might get lucky with the King Drop. So I can hit this like 4 times. Yeah, 4 times. But it really did nothing. So I'm going to swap Dragapult out. I'm going to save it for that Pyukumuku because I feel like I might need it. So going to Marowak here, I might be able to get something off here. So we're going to go for a Rock Polish on the Onix. Okay, Rock Polish on Onix. So it's going to be a speedy Onix. Now, Marowak won't be able to outspeed this, obviously. Stone Miss misses, does its job very well. And I went for Fire Spin. That was the best move I could really go for Onix. Just get some extra damage, you know? And, you know, that crit was huge, you know what I'm saying? So some more Fire Spin damage on Onix, which is very, very good. Now, Onix can go for a Stone Miss, and this time it is going to land on the Marowak and take it out. So, like, oh, that really, really sucks. But it critted me too, and I actually got a Curse Body. It's like, I haven't got many Curse Bodies this battle, and one finally kicked in. So that was good. You know, that's Onix's best attack so far. So now I'm going to go into Poltergeist. The coast is clear. At this stage, I could go for a tea time, and I decided to go for that. So it's got Breaking Swipe. I was like, oh, man, that's going to drop my attack. So that's going to drop my attack, and guess what happened, right? You wouldn't read about it. So we're going to have a little tea party here. Onix is very excited about that. We're going to dig into our berries, and my Poltergeist is going to get a boost in attack. It's like, why does this always happen? Like, anytime I want to do like an attacking set on this and I get my berry, the opponent either drops my attack or burns me with Will-O-Wisp. Like, it literally happened every time. I'm not even joking. So I'm going to go for a Salty Shadow Ball here. I mean, Onix's special defense is Garbo anyway, so that's going to be the end of Onix there, which is not too unexpected. So the next Pokemon is going to be the Carving, and as you remember from the start of the battle, it's got the Choice Scarf. So it's going to be using I guess like a rock-type move here. So my guess was Ancient Power. So going for Shadow Ball did nothing, but, you know, Shadow Ball kicked in to drop the special defense. It's like, that's pretty good, right? Now Carving's going to go for Ancient Power. The only thing I was worried about if it did get some boosts here, because, you know, if it got like 1 or 2 boosts, that thing would be pretty strong. And it's very, very bulky too, you know what I mean? So here comes another Ancient Power from the little Carping. I have to say Carping's shiny looks like really, really good. It's definitely a good shiny to go for. I always thought that would, you know, that would be the evolution, well, Diancie would be the evolution of that, but, you know, for some reason it wasn't, you know? So next Pokemon to come out is going to be the Cincino. So this was going to be a scummy set, and it's going to go for Bullet Seed. I was like, oh, here we go again, another multi anyway. Look at this. Look at this. Curse Body kicks in, and they still are allowed to attack. That's BS. That's straight BS. What do you reckon? I lived on 1 health, by the way. That's a Merchant Opal. But that's seriously BS. So that's the end of my Poltergeist. I've got Dragapult and 1 other Pokemon to go. So what I'm going to do, the Jellicent. You know what the Jellicent is. So we're going to go to Dragapult here. 3 minutes left in this battle. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for Thunder Wave here. I need to get some speed control over this thing because I don't know whether I'm going to be able to defeat it with Dragapult. So now they're going to go for a Triple Axle here. Triple Axle is going to be super effective, and that's going to take Dragapult out. Now I was thinking to myself, okay, let's say they've got Tail Slap, which I know they've got. They've got Bullet Seed, which they can't use because it's disabled by Curse Body, and they've got Triple Axle. What can they actually do to my Jellicent? Like, real talk. So they're going to go for Triple Axle. That's going to do triple nothing. And I can go for a Dynamax. No, I can't go for Dynamax. It's roasting myself again. I can go for a Water-type move. So they're going to get Flinch. Then they're going to get Paralyzed. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go for Waterfall here, you know. It should do a lot of damage. Should be a 2-hit KO. So at this point in time, Cincinnati isn't really that much for a threat. It did actually get a Paralyzed there, so I'd say they would have gone for Bullet Seed just then on my Jellicent. But I was actually lucky I got a Paralyzed then. But I mean, the RNG has been all over the place. At the start of the battle, I got super bad RNG, so I guess that sort of made up for it. So last Pokemon is going to be the Jellicent and the Pyukumuku. I'm going to attack it with a Poltergeist here, and it doesn't really do lots of damage, but once again, I was curious. Like, what would Pyukumuku be able to do to me? Guys, it's going to turn me into a Water type. So now Jellicent is a Water type. Wow. And now it's going to get some leftover recovery. So now I can go for a counter against my Jellicent. But the only thing is, you know, it only has like a little bit of health left there, so counter's not going to do much even if it does live. So like, here we go. So go for Poltergeist, hardly any damage at all, and they're going to get paralyzed. But even if they did get the counter off, you know, old Jellicent was going to be able to live day one. And that is pretty much the game there with the Cursed Body Pokemon team. Hope you really enjoyed that one. I'll be back to tomorrow with a video. Actually, yeah, a series I haven't done for quite a while, a little while. But I hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll catch you next time, people. Peace out.